entertain.
And Betty Disco, save the my boat into sec.
The views and opinions expressed on the radio program by the guests, advertisers, news bulletins, call-in listeners or chatters are solely the views and opinions of the source who express them. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions and the views of Trustco Group International, the broadcast regulators in Namibia, or that of the Informante radio station. This is Informante Radio, the sound for a new age.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Informante Radio, 20 minutes before 3 on this Monday afternoon. The morning crew is back in at the studio. I have Maria in the studio, and we have with us this afternoon a very special guest. He is the Minister of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security, Mr. Frans Kapofi. Good afternoon and welcome to Informante Radio.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a great pleasure to have you in the studio. It's the second time you are back with us. I see you are loving the experience here at Informante Radio.
It's good to be here. Yes. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying anything. I already greeted the Honorable Minister.
You don't want to greet the Honorable Minister.
I'll do it live. Good to have you back, Honorable. Always a pleasure. We had fun the last time, I remember, with Neville in studio.
Yes. We want to center the conversation this afternoon mostly around the new ministry that is now falling, or the new divisions that also fall under your ministry now, which is safety and security, which has been added to the Home Affairs and Immigration. Perhaps you can just let us in on how the transition has been thus far.
Yes, it was an honor for me to have been given those challenges. I think that is the trust of the highest order by my president to have assigned me those responsibilities to safeguard the sovereignty of our country. And I'm very, 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 very honored indeed. And yeah, the challenges are there. Of course, with large numbers of people put together and responsibilities, varied responsibilities. But these are things that one can do. It's doable and it's being done. And these are professional people that we are dealing with, and they're up to the task. And I'm grateful I was given the responsibility to deal with them.
Okay.
Yes.
Minister, maybe since it is election year, maybe we can touch a little bit on what perhaps we can expect from the Safety and Security Ministry in terms of ensuring that there is no unruliness from the public and so on, given that there's campaigning and these things can sometimes get complicated.
Yeah. Political campaigns are always full of emotions, and our appeal is that, of course, our law enforcement officers, men and women in the blue, will be there to facilitate these processes, be it asking people to line up properly, safeguarding polling booths, escorting election materials, and all those kind of things. They will be there. Of course, they will require the support of everybody. Political parties are required, of course, to cooperate with law enforcement. They are there simply to safeguard the process and making sure that everything is free and fair, and so that no one doubts. And they have never doubted the services of our men and women, and as such, we promise that we will do the same. We will rise to the occasion. We make our people proud.
Yes.
Yes.
And in many instances, some of the offences being committed are not by the political parties per se, but by the electorate. So maybe what would your message be to some of the people who might think to be behaving in an unseeming manner?
Yeah, of course, as I said, political events like electioneering and campaigns and all these rallies, and I mean, people will sometimes get excited and they move from one gear to the other and into the mood of causing problems.
Yeah.
So my appeal is, let us just be peaceful as we are known as Namibians. Let's not go into the hype and start causing unnecessary disturbances to others. Sometimes you see one political party is organizing or holding a rally at one in the neighborhood, and the other one come and set up. These are some of the things that other people may not take. They tolerate. They think it's a provocation. But I think we should be able to. We are in a position. We are as citizens, Namibians, able to tolerate these things and to withstand the provocation of whatever nature to ensure that elections have taken place in the most peaceful manner possible.
How does the minister handle it when some of those provocations are coming from SWAPO members and supporters? As we saw over the weekend with the one party attempting to campaign in the informal settlement, and they were reportedly stopped by SWAPO members. Can people see a role as, when we're talking about the minister, is it for a specific protection of a specific party, or is it a national concern?
A minister, that's a title that is given to a person who is acting nationally. He is not a person who is a partisan. I came in on a SWAPO ticket appointed by SWAPO president. But when you carry that, you carry it for everyone. So, therefore, there is no excuse for the fact that SWAPO has fielded ministers in government. Does not necessarily mean SWAPO members have the right to violate the law. The law will not protect them because they are SWAPOs. The law will take its course, whoever you are. If you are doing something that is unlawful, no matter, because the law will not ask. You are not going to be asked, what party do you belong to? Belonging to a party does not exonerate you from following the law. So SWAPO members are no exception to that. So we are all required to behave in the same manner as all other political parties. So that is what is expected, all of us. And the law enforcement will look at everybody everybody in the same way, in the same,
everybody is equal under the law.
Yeah, of course, everybody is equal before the law, or under the law of the Republic. Yes, therefore, we are not saying we do not in SWAPO. We do not have people who can do other things that may not be helpful. They could be people like that, but certainly one has also to see to it that at least you do not do things that will be construed to mean provoking others. Yes. Yeah, sometimes these things are done. We also must know that these things are done deliberately, on purpose. Especially when you see that I don't have a chance, I will lose. So what? If you have nothing to lose, then you do what? You understand what I mean? You do things to spoil things so that nobody gets anything, because you know you are going to lose in any case.
And it becomes, I guess, more difficult in a political climate like we are in now, with elections just a little over a month away. And it becomes difficult to try and maintain order when some people, like the minister is alluding to, are basically throwing caution to the wind because they feel like they have nothing to lose, sowing chaos.
Now, another prominent conversation over the weekend, Minister, there were some remarks from our President Hage Geingob. I believe it was at a political party event.
But political, campaign event.
Campaign event. And conversations that then came from some of his statements where, certain racial groups, specifically in this case, white demographic, feeling, I think there was a conversation about the safety and security. Are they still safe? Do they have to leave the country? Are they still protected? And maybe this falls under your portfolio in that sense, even if the statements were not necessarily yours. Does the minister have something to say on that?
Oh, well, I was at that meeting where the president was launching the SWAPO election campaign, ushering us to get into the population convince them to vote SWAPO. And he did mention about some white people who are, I suppose that's what you are referring to, people who are registering in numbers, saying that, according to the president, what I heard him saying, that anything but SWAPO. That itself, given the background of what we have been seeing, what we have been reading and watching in the social media, is a clear statement that SWAPO must be get rid of. We don't know why we should be get rid of for doing what we don't know. But coming back to your question as to whether white compatriots, white citizens of Namibians are now safe, are still safe or not, of course the president never declared war against them. President addressed SWAPO members. He was speaking as a SWAPO president, speaking to SWAPO members, both black and white. He was telling us to watch out to some of the rightist elements within our society who are saying either or. We have to be removed so that any other force, which other force from where, we don't know, which force must come in to replace us. So at any cost. So that is, I think, what the president was saying. And there is no reason for people to fear that the president has now declared war and he has now unleashed force to deal with them. No, that was not it. If any, President Ken Kapofi will never be the person to wish people this kind of a thing. He's the one that has ushered in all some of these reforms that keeps our country at peace. Therefore, I don't see how people should have a feeling that they feel threatened. But they should also not be too cheap to start thinking about every time the little thing is said about them, they feel excited and they feel they are not wanted. It's not like that. But they must also look at, there are people out there, I have seen WhatsApps. Someone was even posting to say, it is time for the president to leave. But that is the president of SWAPO who was speaking. Okay, he happened to be the president of the country, but he was not addressing a national rally. He was talking within the SWAPO, in the context of SWAPO, SWAPO meeting, SWAPO members rallying us. And he was talking about not just SWAPO, black SWAPO members. He's also addressing himself to the SWAPO, white SWAPO members and all other creeds. SWAPO is the house of everybody. And we are the only party that can, of course, if I'm to talk about as now a SWAPO member, I mean, we are the house. We are the household name. Both we can field candidates we can pride ourselves that we have everybody in Namibia, from A to Z of our people. They are there. They have a house. They have a place in SWAPO, of course. But when you have elements that are so rightist, who are saying this and that upset. And our people must not be sensitive, overreacting. You look at what is being said about black people, and especially those of us who are in government, and the kind of insult we endure, but we don't go there and start protesting and all that. We accept it's the right of people to say, but when something is said about somebody, but the truth is being said, truth has to be told. These people say, if it's necessary, they must ask President Trump to come and help them overthrow SWAPO. We don't take these things lightly. We don't like it, but is that really the way to say it? If you are indeed a patriot and patriotic indeed for your own country, what crime is it that SWAPO has made? SWAPO or its president never invited COVID. Never invited the drought. It never caused the economic problems that are there now. It was not us. So, meskin iemand else. Ik weet niet. So, hoe moet ons now we get the blame that we are the ones who are causing all this. The hardships, yes, we have taken actions today we are able to open our borders because of the measures we've taken. Thanks, the president has reacted on time. And today we are listed as a country that is safe to visit. So it is because of this. Had we taken actions that are lackluster, we would be languishing into this. And you must know, there has been predictions that Africa will be the hard hit continent given the lack of development, given the perception about us. But we are proving to the world otherwise. Yes.
Okay. Minister, I understand you have another meeting to get to, so maybe we should also let you go. We personally want to thank you. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. And we want to remind you once again, you have a home here at Informante Radio. If ever there is information you would like to share, you think that we can help spread, you can call us on us at any time.
No, thank you very much. And once again, I would like just simply to say, our white compatriots, they have a home in Namibia is the only country they have,
Yes.
and they should not take it that when the president expressed that concern, the president expressed these concerns because he was hoping that by now we would have large numbers of these people voting for SWAPO. Indeed, we do have. But when there's elements of this society says, yeah, you know, anything but SWAPO, you know, you must also know the war that ravaged this country for so many years was between SWAPO and a white-led system.
Yes.
We should not forget about that.
Yeah.
And therefore, if that is the tone that we are seeing people mobilizing themselves. And we in the neighborhood, South Africa, we see people drilling themselves, war games taking place there, and the threats against the ANC. We do not know whether those are the extensions. From there to here. But otherwise, thank you very much. And ek sal nog terugkom.
Ja.
Baie dankie.
Yeah, Minister
Baie
will
dankie.
definitief terugkom.
Dankie man.
There's a lot of questions that we probably can't get to. So sorry, the minister has a very, very tight schedule. But we will hopefully have you in studio and have you longer here again. We always enjoy having you in studio.
Thank you. My pleasure really talking to you. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to convey, to speak to our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you guys for joining us on Informante Radio.
Informante Radio. Only the best music.
You're the one I love. I want to know.